Her mom called me a failure at Thanksgiving dinner. I defended my career. She snapped, "Don't talk back to my mother or get out." I nodded. I didn't argue, but when she returned to our empty apartment 3 days later, she finally learned I took get out literally. You ever have one of those moments where everything you thought you knew about someone just shatters? Like glass hitting concrete. That was me at Thanksgiving dinner, watching my fiancée choose her mother over me, after her mother spent 20 minutes explaining why I'm a failure at life. Let me back up. I'm 29, software engineer, not fancy tech bro working at Google or whatever, just solid middle-class work at a regional financial services company. Make about $92,000 a year, own a decent car, rent a nice 2-bedroom apartment, have a 401k. No debt except a small car payment. Pretty standard millennial success story, I thought. My fiancée, ex-fiancée now, but we'll get there. Her name's Jennifer. We'd been together 2.5 years. She's a nurse, pediatric ICU, makes around $78,000. We met at a friend's barbecue, hit it off immediately. She was smart, funny, gorgeous. Blonde hair, green eyes, killer smile. The kind of woman who lights up a room when she walks in. We moved in together after a year. My apartment. I'd had it for 3 years before we met. My name on the lease. She moved her stuff in, started contributing to groceries and utilities. We split those costs. I paid rent since it was my place. Worked out fine. Everything about Jennifer was perfect except one thing. Margaret. That's the mom. And from the stories Jennifer told, Margaret was a piece of work. Controlling, critical. Never satisfied with anything Jennifer did. Always comparing her to other people's kids. Classic toxic parent behavior. Jennifer would come home from visiting her mom, stressed out and upset. Margaret would criticize her weight. Jennifer's a size 6, absolutely nothing wrong with her. Her career choices, somehow being a pediatric ICU nurse wasn't good enough. Her apartment, my apartment technically. Her car, her friends, everything. She just wants the best for me, Jennifer would say. She doesn't know how to express love except through criticism. I learned to tune it out years ago. You just can't take her seriously. Red flag? Yeah, probably. But I loved Jennifer, and I figured her mom lives 2 states away. How bad could it really be? We'd been together 2.5 years, and I'd never even met Margaret. Jennifer always visited her alone, said it was easier that way, that her mom could be a lot for people who didn't grow up with her. Should have listened to that warning. I proposed to Jennifer 6 months ago. Nothing crazy expensive, $4,800 ring, which was reasonable on my salary. Jennifer cried happy tears, said yes immediately. We set a wedding date for next summer. Started planning. Everything was good. Then came Thanksgiving. Jennifer's brother was hosting this year. He lives about an hour from us. Married, 2 kids, nice house in the suburbs. Jennifer had been talking about this Thanksgiving for weeks because it would be the first time I'd meet her mother. Margaret was flying in from Arizona. Just be prepared, Jennifer warned me the week before. Mom's probably going to say something rude. She does that to everyone the first time she meets them. It's like a test. She wants to see how you react. What kind of rude? I don't know. She'll find something. Your job, your carb, your car, your clothes, whatever. Just don't take it personally. Smile and change the subject. That's what my brother's wife does. Your brother's wife has been dealing with this for how long? 7 years. 7 years of smiling and changing the subject around a woman who deliberately insults people. Great. Maybe I should defend myself if she insults me, I said. No, that makes it worse. She wants a reaction. If you engage, she'll double down. Trust me, just let it roll off. I'll run interference if it gets bad. That should have been red flag number 2. My fiancée was already planning to run interference with her own mother at Thanksgiving dinner. But I loved her. I wanted to marry her. I could handle one dinner with a difficult mother-in-law. Spoiler, I could not, in fact, handle it. Thanksgiving Day. We drove to her brother's place. Nice house, like really nice. He's some kind of corporate finance guy, makes way more than me, which became relevant later. Margaret was already there when we arrived. Early 60s. Blonde hair like Jennifer's but styled into one of those helmet-looking cuts that requires weekly salon visits. Expensive clothes. Jewelry that probably cost more than my car. She looked at me the way you'd look at something stuck to your shoe. So you're the fiancé, she said. Not a question, a statement, an accusation almost. That's me. Nice to meet you, Mrs. Patterson. It's Dr. Patterson. I have a PhD. Oh, sorry, Dr. Patterson. In economics, from Stanford. That's impressive. She looked at Jennifer. You didn't tell him I have a doctorate? I did, Mom. He probably forgot. I definitely didn't forget. Jennifer had never mentioned her mother having a PhD, but sure, let's go with that. Dinner started out okay. Jennifer's brother Kevin and his wife Rachel were nice. Their kids were cute, the food was good, normal Thanksgiving stuff. Then we got to the dessert course. Margaret had been asking everyone about their jobs. Kevin talked about his promotion. Rachel talked about her real estate business. I was hoping we'd somehow skip me. We did not skip me. And what is it you do again? Margaret asked me. She knew what I did. Jennifer had definitely told her, but she wanted me to say it. I'm a software engineer. For what company? Redstone Financial Services. She wrinkled her nose like I'd said I cleaned septic tanks. Never heard of it. We're regional, based here in the city. We do financial software for mid-sized businesses. So not Google, not Microsoft, not Amazon. No, ma'am. And your salary? If you don't mind me asking. Jennifer jumped in. Mom, that's personal. I'm just trying to understand what kind of life my daughter will have. It's a reasonable question for a mother to ask her daughter's fiancé. I should have kept my mouth shut. Jennifer shot me a look that clearly said, don't answer. But Margaret was staring at me, waiting, and everyone at the table was silent. I make around $92,000 a year. The way Margaret's face changed, like I just admitted to minimum wage. 92,000, she said it slowly. In your late 20s. I'm 29, yes ma'am. Kevin was making six figures by 26. Kevin looked uncomfortable. Mom, different industries have different scales. I'm just stating facts. Your sister is a pediatric ICU nurse. Do you know how hard she works? How much stress she's under? She saves children's lives. And she's going to marry someone who makes $92,000 doing, what did you call it? Regional financial software? Mom. Jennifer's voice had an edge now. What? I'm not allowed to have concerns? Jennifer, you're a beautiful, intelligent woman. You could do so much better than this. This. She said it like I wasn't sitting right there. That's extremely rude, I said. Calm, measured. I'm proud of what I do. I'm good at my job. I make decent money. Maybe not six figures, but I'm stable and… Stable, Margaret interrupted. Stable is what you call mediocrity when you want it to sound respectable. You're a failure who's convinced himself he's successful. There's a difference. The table went silent. I felt my face get hot. I'm not a failure. No? Let's see. You're almost 30. You make barely over entry-level wages for your field. You rent. You don't even own property. You drive a 4-year-old sedan. You bought my daughter a ring that's what, $5,000? Less? When Kevin proposed to Rachel, the ring cost $20,000. Mom, Jennifer said louder. I'm just being honest. This man is not worthy of you. He's settling for a mediocre life, and he wants to drag you into it. You should be with someone who matches your ambition. Someone who… Dr. Patterson, I said, keeping my voice level even though I wanted to scream. I respect that you want the best for your daughter. But I love Jennifer. I work hard. I'm financially responsible. I treat her well. I'm not rich, but I'm not a failure. And frankly, insulting me at Thanksgiving dinner isn't going to change the fact that Jennifer said yes when I proposed. Margaret stared at me. Then she turned to Jennifer. Are you going to let him talk to me like that? Jennifer looked at me, then at her mother. And I saw it happen. I saw her make a choice. Don't talk back to my mother or get out. 6 words. Quiet, but clear. The table was silent again. I looked at Jennifer, my fiancée, the woman I'd loved for 2.5 years. The woman I'd proposed to. The woman who just told me to shut up or leave because I defended myself against her mother calling me a failure. I nodded. Didn't argue. Didn't raise my voice. Didn't try to defend myself further. Just nodded. Then I stood up, grabbed my jacket from the back of my chair. Wait, what are you doing? Jennifer asked. You told me to get out. I'm getting out. I didn't mean, I just meant don't be disrespectful to my mother. I wasn't disrespectful. I defended myself. There's a difference. But you've made your choice. Enjoy your dessert. I walked out, got in my car, drove home. Jennifer called 6 times on the drive. I didn't answer. She texted, you're overreacting. Come back, we can talk about this. You embarrassed me. My mom is just protective. Answer your phone. I didn't respond to any of it. Got home around 9 p.m. Sat in my apartment. Our apartment, except it wasn't our apartment, it was mine, my name on the lease. My furniture, my kitchen stuff. Jennifer had moved in, but she'd never really moved in, if that makes sense. She had her clothes, her toiletries, some books, but the apartment was mine. Jennifer texted again around 11 p.m. I'm staying at Kevin's for the weekend. Need some space. We'll talk when I get back Sunday afternoon. Sunday afternoon. 3 days. That gave me time. That's when I made a decision. I wasn't going to be there when she got back. Friday morning, 6 a.m., I was awake, hadn't slept much, kept replaying the dinner. The look on Jennifer's face when she chose her mother, the casual cruelty in Margaret's voice, the way the whole table had sat there in silence. I called a moving company, explained I needed to move as soon as possible. They had a slot available Sunday. Perfect. Booked it. $850 for a 2-man crew and a truck for 4 hours. Then I started apartment hunting online, pulled up rental listings, found a 1-bedroom place about 15 minutes away, smaller than my current apartment but newer. Hardwood floors, updated kitchen, in-unit washer-dryer. $1,100 a month versus the $1,350 I was paying now. I called the landlord at 9 a.m., explained I was looking to move quickly. Could I see it today? Toured it at noon. Clean. Bright. No memories of Jennifer attached to it. No couch we'd picked out together. No bedroom where we'd slept for a year and a half. Just blank space I could fill however I wanted. I put down a deposit, $1,100 for first month, $1,100 security deposit, $2,200 total. Signed the lease, move-in date Monday. Drove back to my current apartment, started packing. I was systematic about it. Got boxes from the U-Haul store. Started in the bedroom. Packed my clothes, my shoes, my books from the nightstand. Jennifer's stuff stayed exactly where it was, her clothes in the closet, her jewelry box on the dresser, her skincare products on her side of the bathroom counter. I packed everything that was mine, my laptop, my gaming console, my monitors, the framed photos of my family, not our photos together, those could stay or burn for all I cared, but my family photos that I'd had before I met her. Worked until midnight, boxes stacked everywhere. Labeled, bedroom, office, kitchen, living room. Saturday morning, I kept going. Kitchen was tricky. We'd merged our stuff. But I remembered what was mine. The nice knife set I'd bought 2 years before we met. The cast iron skillet I'd had since college. The coffee maker I'd purchased because Jennifer's cheap one made terrible coffee. I left her the cheap coffee maker. Bathroom, my toiletries, my towels, my bathroom scale. She could keep the shower curtain. I'd bought it, but I didn't want it. Living room, my TV, my soundbar, my couch, my coffee table, my bookshelf, my books. Jennifer had contributed a lamp and some decorative pillows. Those stayed. By Saturday night, the apartment looked gutted. You could see the outline of where furniture had been on the carpet. Dust patterns on the walls, where shelves had hung. The bedroom had just Jennifer's mattress on the floor. She'd brought it when she moved in because I already had a bed. I'd packed my bed frame and mattress into the moving truck. I stood in the empty living room. 2.5 years. Gone. Packed into boxes. Ready to move. Ordered pizza. Ate it sitting on the floor since the kitchen table was already wrapped and ready for the movers. Surreal. 2 days ago, I was planning to marry this woman. Now I was eating pizza on the floor of an apartment I was abandoning. Sunday morning, movers came at 8 a.m. 2 guys, mid-30s, efficient. They took one look at all the boxes and the furniture and got to work. Breaking up, one of them asked while loading the couch. How'd you guess? We do a lot of these moves. Always tell by what gets left behind. Decorative pillows, cheap furniture, women's clothes. You're leaving the relationship, not the woman. That obvious? Every time. They had everything loaded by 11 a.m. I followed them to my new place. They unloaded. I tipped them $100 each. They'd earned it. Spent the afternoon unpacking essentials, bed, TV, coffee maker, made the place livable. Then I went back to the old apartment, cleaned, vacuumed, wiped down every surface, scrubbed the bathroom, mopped the kitchen. I wanted to leave it clean, not for Jennifer, for myself, so I could walk away knowing I'd done everything right, that she couldn't blame me for trashing the place or leaving it a mess. When I finished, it was 6 p.m. The apartment was spotless and empty except for Jennifer's stuff scattered around. I sat down at the kitchen counter, pulled out a notepad, started writing. Then I sat down and wrote a note, left it on the kitchen counter where she'd see it. Jennifer, you told me to get out. I'm taking your advice. I've moved out. Everything that's mine is gone. Everything that's yours is still here. The lease is in my name, so I've notified the landlord I'm breaking it. You have until the end of December to move out. That gives you 1 month. Your ring is in the bedroom. I'm not interested in being engaged to someone who sides with their mother over me when that mother calls me a failure. Good luck with your life. I hope you find someone who makes 6 figures and drives a new car and buys $20,000 rings. I hope they make you happy. I hope your mother approves. I'm done. Mark. I left the ring on the bathroom counter. $4,800 engagement ring that she'd loved 6 months ago. Didn't matter now. Took one last look at the apartment. 2.5 years of relationship. 1.5 years of living together. Gone. Drove to my new place. Started unpacking. Jennifer came back to the apartment Sunday afternoon, just like she'd said. 3 days after Thanksgiving. I know because she started calling. Over and over. Then texting, "What the fuck? Where are you? Where is everything? Did you actually move out? Are you serious right now? Call me. Call me. We need to talk about this. You can't just leave." I responded once. "You told me to get out. I got out. We're done. Don't contact me again." She called 37 more times that day. I blocked her number. She showed up at my work Monday morning. Security called me. "There's a woman in the lobby asking for you. Says she's your fiancé. Says it's an emergency." I went down, saw Jennifer through the glass doors. She looked terrible, hair unwashed, no makeup, wearing sweatpants and one of my old hoodies that she must have found in her stuff. I told security I'd handle it. Walked out. Mark, thank God, they wouldn't let me up. I know, I told them not to. We need to talk. No, we don't. Yes, we do. You can't just leave like that. Move out without telling me. End everything without even a conversation. You told me to get out. I got out. That was the conversation. I didn't mean actually leave. I meant don't talk back to my mother at dinner. Same thing to me. You chose your mother's feelings over mine. You let her call me a failure and then got mad at me for defending myself. That tells me everything I need to know. I panicked. She's my mother. I've spent my whole life trying to keep the peace with her. It's complicated. It's not complicated. When someone attacks your partner, you defend your partner. You didn't. You defended your attacker. We're done. Please. Mark, please. I love you. I made a mistake. I'll set boundaries with her. I'll tell her she was wrong. I'll make it right. Where was that impulse on Thursday? When she was calling me mediocre and a failure? When she was comparing me to your brother? Where was the boundary setting then? She didn't have an answer. That's what I thought. Go home, Jennifer. Pack your stuff. You have until the end of December. This is cruel. You're being cruel. I'm being clear. There's a difference. We're done. Don't come back here. I walked back into the building. Security watched her through the glass as she stood there crying. Then she left. She found my new address somehow. Probably called around to moving companies. Showed up Tuesday night around 8 p.m. Banged on the door. Yelled through it. "Mark, open the door. We need to talk." I sat on my couch. Turned up the TV. This is insane. You can't just end a 2-year relationship over one dinner. I'd already ended it. The question was when she'd accept that. My mom apologized. She called me crying. She feels terrible. She didn't mean what she said. Funny how Margaret felt terrible after her daughter's fiancé left. Not, while she was saying it, or the day after. Only once there were consequences. Mark, please. I love you. I made a mistake. I should have defended you. I know that now. I'm sorry. Please open the door. Please talk to me. I listened to her yell and cry for 30 minutes. My neighbors probably thought I was the asshole. Maybe I was. Didn't change anything. Eventually, she left. I heard her car start. Watched through the window as she drove away. She tried emailing me. I'd set up a filter that sent anything from her address straight to trash. She tried messaging me on social media. Already blocked. She tried having Kevin call me. I blocked him after the second attempt. Then Rachel called from a number I didn't recognize. "Mark, it's Rachel, Kevin's wife. I know who you are." Look, I get it. Margaret was way out of line. What she said was horrible. And Jennifer shouldn't have told you to get out. But she's devastated. She really loves you. She made a mistake siding with her mom, but she was caught off guard. Margaret has been controlling Jennifer her whole life. It's complicated. It's not complicated to me. Your sister-in-law chose her abusive mother over me when I needed her to choose me. That's simple. She panicked. She's been conditioned her whole life to defend Margaret. It's literally abuse. Years of psychological manipulation. You're punishing Jennifer for being abused. I'm not punishing anyone. I'm choosing not to be in a relationship with someone who sides against me when it matters. Her history with her mother explains her behavior. It doesn't excuse it. So that's it? 2.5 years and you're just done? Yeah, that's it. I'm not interested in being second place to someone who thinks I'm a failure, and I'm not interested in spending my life managing someone's toxic mother. Jennifer has to fix that relationship before she can have a healthy relationship with anyone. That's her work to do, not mine. You're really not willing to give her another chance? Even if she goes to therapy? Even if she sets boundaries with Margaret? Rachel, if Kevin's mother called you a failure at Thanksgiving dinner, and Kevin told you to shut up or get out, would you stay with him? Long silence. That's different. How? Because Kevin wouldn't do that. Exactly. Because you chose a partner who wouldn't do that. I chose wrong. Now I'm correcting that mistake. She hung up on me. 2 weeks later, Jennifer's stuff was gone from the old apartment. I'd paid the lease-breaking fee. Landlord found a new tenant. A month later, mutual friends started reaching out. Apparently, Jennifer was telling people I'd abandoned her over one little comment her mother made, that I was controlling and couldn't handle criticism, that I'd left her financially stranded by moving out without warning. I set the record straight where it mattered. Showed people the texts, explained what actually happened. Most people who knew me believed my version. A few took her side. That's fine. They can have her. 3 months later, I'm settled in my new place, dating again. Nothing serious yet, but I'm not in a hurry. I ran into Kevin at a coffee shop last week. He saw me, looked like he wanted to avoid me. I waved. He came over. How's it going? I asked. Good. You? Can't complain. New apartment's working out, job's good. That's good. Awkward silence. Then, look, for what it's worth, I'm sorry about Thanksgiving. My mom was completely out of line. I should have said something. Appreciate that. Jennifer's pretty torn up still. She asks about you. That's rough. She still thinks you guys can work it out. We can't. What happened at Thanksgiving wasn't about your mom. It was about Jennifer choosing to defend someone who was attacking me instead of standing by me. That's not something I can get past. Kevin nodded. I get it. Rachel and I talked about it. She said if I'd done what Jennifer did, she'd have left me too. Smart woman. Yeah. He paused. Jennifer's therapist told her the same thing, that she chose wrong, that she has to work on setting boundaries with our mom before she can have a healthy relationship with anyone. Therapy's good. Hope it helps her. You're really not interested in trying again? Even if she makes changes? Kevin, your sister told me to get out because I wouldn't sit quietly while your mother called me a failure. That's not a momentary lapse in judgment. That's showing me who she is and what I can expect if we stay together. I believe people when they show me who they are. He didn't have a response to that. I finished my coffee. Shook his hand. Left. Jennifer sent me one final email last week. It got past my filters somehow. Subject line, I understand now. The email was long. Explained that she's been in therapy, that she realizes how toxic her relationship with her mother is, that she's gone low contact with Margaret, that she understands why I left, that she's sorry, that she wishes she could go back and handle Thanksgiving differently, that she hopes I'm happy, that she'll always love me. I read it, deleted it, didn't respond. Because here's the thing. I don't doubt that Jennifer's in therapy. I don't doubt she realizes her mom is toxic. I don't doubt she wishes things were different. But when it mattered, when I needed her to stand by me, she told me to shut up or get out. And I chose to get out. And honestly, I'm glad I did. My new apartment is great. My job is the same. Still making my apparently mediocre $92,000 a year, still working at my not Google company, still perfectly happy with my choices. I'm dating someone now. Her name's Amy. She's a teacher. Makes about $54,000 a year. When I told her what I did for work, she said, "That's cool. I don't really understand software stuff, but it sounds interesting." When I told her how much I made, she said, "That's more than me, but okay." When I told her about my car, she said, "Does it run?" "Yeah." "Then who cares?" We had Thanksgiving at her parents' house this year. Her dad asked what I did for work. I told him. He said, "Software, huh? I don't understand computers, but my company uses them, so someone's got to make the programs. You make good money doing that?" "Yeah, I do, all right." "Good, that's good. You want more turkey?" That was it. No interrogation, no comparisons, no calling me a failure. Just, "You make good money doing that, and you want more turkey." Amy's mom asked about the ring eventually. Amy had told them we weren't engaged yet, but we're getting serious. "Whenever you're ready, I'm sure whatever you choose will be lovely," Amy's mom said. My ring was my grandmother's. Cost nothing, but it means everything. Price doesn't matter if the love is real. The difference was staggering. I'm not saying Amy's the one. It's only been a few months. But I'm saying she's someone who doesn't come with a toxic mother who thinks I'm not good enough. She's someone who thinks $92,000 is perfectly fine. She's someone who, when her mother hypothetically insulted me at dinner, would tell her mother to knock it off instead of telling me to get out. Jennifer wanted me to understand that her mother's behavior was complicated, that years of abuse had conditioned her responses, that I should have been more patient. Maybe all that's true. But I'm 29 years old, I make good money, I have a good job, I'm stable and responsible, and I treat people well. And I deserve a partner who thinks that's enough. Jennifer didn't. So I left. Took get out literally, and never looked back.